y'all, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane, and today is October 5th, 2017. It's a Thursday. It is a lovely, no clouds in the sky day. I'm here in Richmond, Texas, outside of Houston. I live here with my husband and two growing active boys and one little dog. And this is where I work and do all things crafty and yarny. So welcome. I have no idea what episode this is. I think we're in the 130s. 131, I believe. It has been a little while since we've spoken and so much has happened. I have been out of town twice. I have been to Hot Springs, Arkansas. I have been to the Hill Country in Texas, which is, anywhere Austin, north of Austin. Not really, is San Antonio Hill Country? Texas people, I don't know. I'm not originally from here. And so, but I was in Wimberley and Fredericksburg, two places that I have never been before. So it was a lot of fun. And I'm getting all sorts of text messages and notifications. Oh, I can pick up my book from the library. Yay! But I have just had the busiest, most exciting, fun last several weeks. And so I can't wait to share a little bit of my adventures with you. So first off, thank you so much to everyone who's been emailing me about their prizes for the Around Your Neck Cal. Those winners were announced in the last episode, and it is just so fun to have everybody contacting me. I'm sort of waiting on a few more responses and still getting some responses, but slowly but surely I promise you I've received all of your emails. And I'm contacting those winners and the people that have donated the prizes. So it should be not too long before you are getting matched up and getting a prize, headed your way. I do want to mention briefly that we are doing the breathing space / striped sweater knit along. If it's a Vera Valimaki pattern. I will say I have not cast mine on yet, but I'm hoping to soon. And I have just been so busy. I haven't even had a second. I have changed my mind on yarn. Yeah. So who knows what I will end up with. I have a feeling I know what I'm going to end up with, but who knows? We'll see. But that is ongoing, and it's probably going to go at least for another month or so, but that's the breathing space / striped sweater knit along. It is a very informal knit along. We are just in the groups, encouraging each other and cheering each other on. No prizes, just chatter and fun and encouragement. If you need this as a kick in the pants to pull a whip back out and get it going again, then now's your chance. As far as other shop news, other announcements, I think that's pretty much it for right now, as far as podcast announcements. So let's jump right in. I want to talk about one finished object, which is a little strange to have one sock as a finished object, but this was just shop sample. So it is only one sock, but this pattern is called At the Vicarage. And it is by Olivia Villarreal, who is This Handmade Life on Instagram. The yarn is my Predictability colorway. And it is a really pretty lace pattern up the front of the sock with a stockinette back, which makes it zoom, zoom, zoom. Those of y'all who are longtime listeners know that I am not a super huge fan of patterned socks, which seems funny as we go through this show, but I guess I can't say I'm not a fan. I just historically don't do them because I want to knit quickly on socks. And so this was a little bit of a departure for me, but I absolutely love it. And this will be traveling with me to trunk shows to show off predictability. So that is that. Oh, and this is predictability on my glitter sock base. So there is some gold stellina in there. I particularly love that this pattern shows off what it knits like in a pattern and then also in stockinette on the back, so that someone who is looking to see either or can see it with just one sample. It's almost like I planned it. Every once in a while I have good ideas. So that is my finished object. That's it. I do want to show one thing that is a finished object, but I can't really claim it for myself. But I had the lovely, amazing, sweet, beautiful Shayna, my friend Shayna, who is Shayna Lines on Instagram, and Ravelry, I believe. But she knit a sample for me, and I'm going to, I will actually be reblocking this afternoon because it needs a good just wash and reblock. But she knit this shawl for me out of 2 new colors. This is the Girl from the Grocery Store shawl. Again, I did not knit this, but it is my yarn. So this blue colorway, this kind of grayish blue, is called Boyfriend Jeans. And it's really just a beautiful denim blue color that shows lots of tonality. Beautiful neutral. And then the white, natural, creamy, tonal color. It is dyed, but what I love about it is that it's just very subtle. And this is my doily colorway. So I just absolutely love how it turned out. And to give you an idea, Shayna is a beautiful knitter, and her shawls are always so beautifully drapey. She's just amazing. So I have a feeling that I will be snagging this periodically to wear myself because I absolutely love it. So this is, if you're interested in knowing how this shawl, let's see, I'll back up a little bit so you can see. So this shawl definitely is large. It kind of comes to a point here. I'm going to reblock that because the mail just sort of kind of made it all loosen back up. But that is that. This is knit out of my sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So that is Girl from the Grocery Store. Look how pretty. So those are my dog keeps trying to sit underneath my chair, and every time I move it, she's like, she's looking for her spot, and I keep moving her spot. She's back under there again. So that's Girl from the Grocery Store. I have a handful of things that I've been working on this week. So let's jump into works in progress. I have my Wet the Fade mystery knit along, which is now complete. It is no longer a mystery. My shawl is not complete, but the mystery has been revealed. I don't know that I've ever finished a mystery knit along in the time allotted, to be quite honest, but that's fine. I wish one day I will, when maybe my life is a little more settled, but nevertheless, I am still plugging away on it. I have finished the brioche top portion, and I'm just going ahead and showing this because mystery is revealed. It's on the internet, it's online, it's on Instagram, it's everywhere. So I have finished all of the brioche, first 2 clues, 1 and 2, and I am now into the garter stitch. Let's see, so you can see kind of right there where it goes from the brioche into the garter. It starts off, the garter starts with this banana legs colorway, which is this bright yellow, and then I'm fading it into bee's knees, which is neutrals undyed with splashes of various yellows and other colors. I just love it. So here is the front so far. I do have some bigger needles I'll be putting it on soon. There's the fade on the front, the black to yellow, which is so fun. And then the fade on the back is from lightest white to yellow. So it's gonna have this big kind of bright yellow section in the middle, which I love. The way that it seems to wear, that section is going to really stand out in the middle when I wear it. So that's really fun. I don't know that I have big bright yellow shawls for anything. So that's really exciting to have something new. I have not worked a super ton on this in the last couple of days, or in the last week really, because I have been dying like a crazy person to be able to get ready for my trunk show. But it will be coming, I will get some time to work on it shortly. The next work in progress that I have is actually in a new bag that I acquired from Woodsy and Wild. It's beautiful. I was introduced to this maker because of the Socktober thread, which is, Socktober is a October knit along for socks that's in the Carolina Fiber Girls group. And I'm almost positive that's where I found this. You know, I don't know now. It was either that or it was either Pigskin Party knit along. So either way, I found a new bag maker, and I'm so sorry I cannot remember which group. I just remember seeing a coupon code for it, and I purchased it. So here it is. It's a really pretty fabric with a kind of linen bottom. It is not lined, so it easily stuffs into a bag. You can see that it, it collapses quite nicely. And then it also, an interesting detail is that it has a metal zipper right there. And it's kind of a bronze color, and then it has this bronze matching D-ring, which I like. But I started a new pair of socks while I was on my vacation to Hot Springs. This was a test knit for, I'm gonna pull out this sock blocker. This is not a blocked sock, so, and just, you'll see in a minute, it's a little hard to tell exactly what's going on with this sock because it's a sock blank. But let me talk about the yarn first. I pulled out a sock blank from Leading Men Fiber Arts because I was just in a sock blank mood. I have not done a lot. I have a lot of their yarn and have not done a ton of knitting with it. Just seem to be collecting it. So here's the sock blank that is still remaining after one sock, which is well over half of the sock blank. I just love, obviously I love these colors. They're very Diane colors. So that's the sock blank. Theirs are all one of a kind, but this one happens to be called You Are What You Eat. I knit the sock on US 1 2.25 millimeter Luca needles, and I got them because bandwagon. I also got them because I wanted to try them on the standalone, like single circulars, not interchangeables, because I've really been eyeing that interchangeable set, but I wanted to try the needles first, and I'm really glad I did because I will not be purchasing the set. it is just a wooden needle. Like, I know that they're all the rage and they are beautiful and it is well made, and if you love wooden needles, then they are stunning. I don't care for knitting socks on wooden needles, so I will maybe, you know, if I might use this as it's in my arsenal for things that I have should I need it. But I mean, if you like wood needles, then the sets are beautiful and great and lovely, but I still prefer, this did not convert me to wooden needles. I still prefer knitting on metal needles. So that's sort of my, I know that feels like, ooh, I'm just really going against the flow with this because everyone is just absolutely in love with these needles. And for the aesthetic, I agree, they are stunning. But it's just a wooden needle to me. So there you go. Here is my sock. I knit one sock. It also is a patterned sock. You can tell that it's a little bit curly still. I have not blocked it. So you can see the texture on there. This pattern is the Obliviate sock pattern, which is a brand new sock pattern just published by Sarah Stevens of Graceland Wool. It has a cable on the back. Let's see if I can get close so you can see that. There's a cable on the back of the leg, and then there's some texture stitches on the front and the top of the foot. It has a heel flap and gusset, which I actually really never do, but I'm so glad that I did with this. Yes, it takes a lot longer to knit, but gosh, does it fit nicely. I mean, I know that. I know that the Fish Lips Kiss heel has less, and you know, and other short row heels, not just the Fish Lips Kiss, that it has less fabric in there. And yes, it's quicker, but yes, it is tighter. So, gosh, this is it was a nice change to have a sock that just fit this nicely. It will be interesting to see how this blocks out because it looks a lot looser than my normal gauge. Some of that is from sock blank knitting. That's just what happens. It will be interesting to see if some of that is also because of the wooden needles. So when it's blocked, I'm a little nervous that it's going to be super loose, but we'll see. But right now it's just lovely. And again, this was the Obliviate pattern by Sarah Stevens of Graceland Wool Company. And it is available now on Ravelry. And it is a Harry Potter, Hermione Granger themed sock pattern. Super fun. So I just have to cast on the second one. So that is a work in progress. And then I pulled out, because I needed some plain, no thinking knitting. And I pulled out this pair of socks that I started back in June, maybe June or July. July. For the Desert Vista Dye Works knit along, I didn't finish them in July. The fall is busier than I ever thought it would be this year. So I'm now no longer in that knit along, but I'm still gonna have this great pair of socks. So I had finished the first sock tube way back when, and here is the second sock tube. And I am almost to the ribbing on this guy. So this is getting really, really close, which is exciting. And then it has this super fun Sucra miniature charm. It's a little milkshake with a donut on top, which is pretty cute. Needlessly cute, right? Needlessly and just over the top awesome in the best way. I think that that's really it for works in progress. I have been fairly monogamous, like really trying to just sort of hone in on the things that need working on. And so far that's been pretty successful. For the little amount of knitting time that I've had, I've been doing a really good job at focusing. Okay, so the next thing is going to be Hello Lovelies, and Hello Lovelies is going to be some new things that are in my world, and then it's also going to be a lot of some of my adventures over the last several weeks as to why I haven't been podcasting as much. All good things. So the last podcast actually came out after I had returned from my trip, but was taped before I went on my trip. And that trip that I'm speaking of is my husband and I, after 6 or 7 years, I think we figured out, of attempting to take a vacation, just the two of us, 6 or 7 years in a row, and always having something come up, whether it be a car issue that needed that money, or sick kids, or scheduling conflicts, or whatever. We never were able to take just a two of us vacation. And this year we really thought it was going to get canceled again because of the hurricane. And funnily enough, we originally scheduled the vacation for the East Coast, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. And for 9 months had hotel reservations and all sorts of things planned, and national parks and battleships and war fields and all these things that my husband loves to do. And we were just going to go hike and spend some time all over kind of that middle East Coast. And then after the hurricane here, then there was another hurricane that hit Florida and that section of the country, Irma, I believe. And gosh, we, a few days before that hurricane hit that part of the country, in between those hurricanes, we just thought, we are here right after a hurricane, and I just really don't want to go drive through a part of the country that's about to get hit by a hurricane. So we had to scramble pretty quickly to find another place to go that would not be in the path of a hurricane, that was still drivable, still with some things that we wanted to do. And so we basically just pulled out a map of all of the national parks. The hard part for us is that Texas, where we live, there is nothing. There are like 1 or 2 national parks in Texas, which is really sad. And of course, they're all like a minimum of 7 or 8 hours away from us. Neither of which held a ton of interest for me, and they're also very isolated, which means there's not a lot to do. And we were sort of looking forward to having some urban and some kind of hiking adventure activities in our agenda. So we knew that we needed to come up with something that was not a national park in Texas. Long story short, we landed on Hot Springs. It is about 7.5 hours from us. On our side of Houston. A very easy drive in one day. We called, got a hotel. Great thing about traveling during the school year and to what I assume is not a super high tourist area, especially during, it is a touristy area, don't get me wrong, but not, just not a big city. It's a very small town, kind of, in the Ozarks, or kind of a little bit south of the Ozarks, technically, I believe. Anyway, it was a fabulous time, and it was very inexpensive vacation, is what I'm trying to say. We had a fabulous room at a hotel. It was a large suite. I literally think it was larger than our first apartment. And that was great because I am an early bird and my husband likes to sleep in. And so I was able to get up early and could close the door and had the whole kitchenette living room, which was huge. Literally it was like the size of my living room at my house now. Huge space that I could still put on a podcast and knit and have my coffee and sort of wake up, just very quiet and nice. And he could still snore away. And so that was really nice. We got to hike in the national park. We got to go see a beautiful nature preserve, arboretum, wild nature center place in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The lovely Robin of October House Fiber Arts is based out of Hot Springs, and she and her husband helped us so much with recommendations. They were able to secure some passes for us to go see some city things, and I cannot say thank you enough. They just showered us with gifts and lovely things to just have while we were there, and it just made the trip so much nicer. One of my favorite things that we did was that nature preserve, and there is no way it would have been on my radar had she not given us tickets to go. So it was fabulous. On the way up, I made my husband go to Stitches, Texas. It was not at all on the way. We literally added about 2.5 hours of driving time at least onto our day because of my detour, but it was so worth it. I got to see so many of you and surprise some people and hug some necks and buy some yarn. So a new to me vendor, I will show you. This is U2 Yarn, and they are out of, oh gosh, where are they out of? I want to say it was like Waxahachie or something, but beautiful single ply neutral colored yarn. There's their label. I just loved this tonal tans and browns. I love that little color splash right there. This just felt very calm and pretty to me. So I purchased that. I went over to my friends at the Leading Men Fiber Arts booth, and I knew that I was going to be looking for this. I got a skein of King Max on the Showstopper base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, fingering weight yarn. And I went to the Stephen B booth and of course got 2 skeins of yarn. It's hard for me to go anywhere with Hedgehog and not get Hedgehog. And this was a potluck colorway, I believe. Yes. So it's one of a kind, just with some fun bright colored speckles that looked, since I'm just fading everything these days, looked like it would be a great middle of a fade. And then I also, because I have never seen this yarn in real life or purchased any, I got some Woolen Boon. So that's pretty exciting. This is the Commando colorway. And it is a sort of a tonal peach and tan, I guess I would say. So like Commando skin colored, I guess is what she's going for with that reference, but it's lots of fun speckles on here too. Very, very pretty. So I'm particularly excited to work with that. So that was Stitches, Texas. And then we went to Hot Springs and had a lovely time, and it was just awesome. I got my National Park Passports book stamped, and everything was great. So then came back and have been working away. And then last weekend, I got to go on another trip. Feel like the world traveler these days. I got to go on a trip to the Hill Country. So I mentioned it before, I was in the Hill Country, Wimberley, and Fredericksburg, Texas. This was for my best friend from all of life, over 20 years, almost 25, which is kind of depressing in and of itself. But we have been best friends for almost 25 years. And she is getting married for the first time. It's so exciting. So we had a little bachelorette weekend with a couple of her work colleagues and myself. So there were just 4 ladies. It was very low key, very fun. We rented kind of an Airbnb little cabin and shopped in Wimberley and just did all sorts of fun things. A wine tour, which basically, I guess I didn't realize that a wine tour was a big bus full of people that intend to get completely hammered on wine before about 12:30 in the day. So I had like a sip of all the wines and then poured most of everything out, like literally just a sip and then poured it out. So I probably had, you know, over the 3 or 4 hours, maybe the equivalent of a glass of wine, maybe a glass and a half. Never felt anything. I was not the norm on that bus, let's just say that. So that was a new experience for me. But that was really fun. And then we also got to go to an alpaca ranch, and that was so great. I'm going to try to put some photos in at the very end. And so fun. So fun that my friend just loves alpacas, and what a treat that, you know, on this whole trip that was just for her, and that I would get to do something that was still a little bit yarny and fiber related on this weekend. So that was really exciting. One thing that I was also excited about is I got to go to a new to me yarn store in Wimberley, Texas. There are so many yarn stores in the Hill Country. But I got to go to Ply Yarn in Wimberley, which is the cutest little downtown shopping district. As you will see again, like I said, it's impossible for me not to get hedgehog when I see it. I just can't help it. And these are two newer colorways that I did not have yet, and that seemed to be hard to find online. So they had them, and I jumped on the opportunity. So I picked up, this is Pesto, which is like neon greens with speckles, but mostly white. And then Poppy, and Poppy is lots of pinks and oranges. A little bit of green, but just so much pink and orange, which was really, really fun. So I got those 2 skeins of hedgehog, and I got one skein because it was just so pretty. I couldn't say no. Of Madeline Tosh, which I have not purchased in a while. Madeline Tosh on the Tosh Merino light base, and this colorway is called Electric Rainbow. And again, it just was so fun. Literally has all of the colors in the rainbow, and it needed to come home with me. So much new yarn, right? Especially for not having time to knit. But I love supporting businesses and shops and everything. Oh, sorry, Sophie. I didn't mean to kick her again. She's still hiding under my chair. So that was just so exciting, so fun. And then I got back on Sunday, so just a couple of days ago, and I've been dying like a mad woman all week getting ready for a trunk show this weekend at the Hill Country Weavers in Austin, Texas, which is one of my favorite local yarn stores, probably in the world, at least that I've been to. And I just love Suzanne, and I love the retreats. I've been to the last 2 retreats. I'm going this year again to the retreat in March, where I get to see Ho-Hee and Vera and Michelle Wong, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. But I digress. So I will be at Hill Country Weavers tomorrow, Friday, the 6th and the 7th on Saturday. I might go for a little while on Sunday, but then I'll be driving home on Sunday as well. So that's the plan. I will be bringing almost 200 skeins of yarn with me, so plenty of yarn for you to come and pick out. And I only have maybe 18 to 20 different colorways, but on several bases, several on each base. Lots of quantities so that you can really, make a fade, or, I don't know that I'm bringing any sweater quantities, so there's no sweater things that can happen unless you're doing, multicolors, but lots of fun shawl options, DK weight if you're looking for hats or other fun things. And there's a couple of colorways that I want to highlight that I am bringing, one of which is my Holly Jolly colorway. And this was my first ever yarn that I created, that I dyed. And I have just kind of updated it a little bit, revamped it to look a little bit more like and dyed more in the style of how I dye now, you know, almost 1 year later. So this is Holly Jolly. Again, this was an original Suburban Stitcher colorway, the original. First time I put dye on yarn, Holly Jolly is what came out. So, but this is Holly Jolly. As you can see, it varies as to the amount of red or green. This one has a lot of red, which is a lot of fun. So Holly Jolly will be there. I'm bringing back some that I haven't dyed in a while that are really fun, like this one. This is Dandia. Speckled jewel tones. Really good for this time of year. And then this one, let's see if I can find one. Oh, I'm going to have Pilgrimage. This is my new colorway. Pilgrimage, which is sort of my, like, this time of year, everyone is making their big pilgrimage up to Rhinebeck. So this is my fall inspired colorway for this year. I will have Predictability. I will have a new colorway that was an accident that turned out okay. So who knows if it'll come back again, but it has an official name because there was so much of it, it needed an official name. This is Predictability, and this is called Copycat. So you can see it's slightly darker and it's got some different shades of speckles. I called it Copycat because I dyed this first and I added way too much of the base. It just got way too dark. So it couldn't be Predictability because what I like about it is that it has a lot of light spots, and this just was too dark. So I added some different colored speckles on there, and it is a copycat, sort of Predictability. So there's that. What else? Ooh, I will have some River's Edge for those that are looking for that. I will have some Night Gypsy. Let's see what else is in here. I will have some Peach Tea. It's a fan favorite. I will have Cinder. And then I brought back a colorway that we have not seen for a while. Where is it? This was a very early on colorway as well. Sorry, I'm digging in this bag. This is a colorway. Let's see if I can find it on another base too, to show you the difference. Okay, this is a colorway called Mystic. Ooh, I don't have a label on this one, but it's called Mystical Forest. And so this is it. Great fall colors. It's got some blues, some darker blues, some browns, some purples, some golds. Mystical Forest. You can see how it kind of varies there. Oh, there's some Jon Snow will be there. And let's see what else. I have so many in the other room that are drying. Oh, this is a good one. Tandoori will be back, because if this does not say fall, I don't know what does. Tandoori will be there. So I'm really excited about the trunk show. I know that it's a huge yarn crawl, and that, you know, if you had not already planned to come to this Austin area this weekend, you know, maybe that's your next weekend stop. I totally understand. I am bringing a ton of yarn, like I said, almost 200 skeins of yarn, so that hopefully there should be some there the whole 10 days of the yarn crawl, so that you can get something, even if you don't get there tomorrow or Saturday to come see me, that you will still get to see my yarn at the Hill Country Weavers. Hey y'all, I wanted to jump in here because I forgot a huge important thing that I'm supposed to talk about today, and that is a giveaway. This week we have a giveaway for a pattern, and the pattern designer is Naughty Gnome, and she has just designed a hat called the Lannister hat, and it is so beautiful. It is a 2-color stranded hat knit in Aran weight yarn. There are 3 sizes: child, adult medium, and adult large. It's a loose-fitting beanie, and she has instructions on making it fit even a bit looser if that's what you're looking for. So what I want you to do is I'm going to put a link in Ravelry, open up a Ravelry thread just for this giveaway, and I'm going to put a link in there to her shop. I would love for you to go take a look at her shop. Let me know what other items you like in there, and then maybe also what kinds of designs that you like seeing. And you can leave a note about either one of those things, what's your favorite design of hers, or something that you like that you maybe would like to see her start designing. And that is Naughty Gnome Designs. And let me jump over here, make sure I'm giving you all of the correct information. Naughty Gnome, it is the House Lannister hat. And I am going to get a confirmation, but I believe that we might even have a coupon code. And if we do, it's going to be right here. I'll put it right here at the bottom. Thank you so much, Naughty Gnome. I'm super excited to get this pattern out to one of our viewers. So good luck, everybody. So I think that is it for this episode. Oh, no. I do have one other thing that I want to show you. I'm going to try to get this up today because I want y'all to be able to get this. So hold on. Okay, so we are October 5th today, so there's just a couple more days for the October bag and yarn listings to be up in the shop. Don't know if there are any bags left, but there will be more yarn because I can dye more of that. And this is the colorway. It's called Menagerie. And here it is, a sample of it on 2 different bases. The single ply is what I dyed up for me because I wanted it on single ply. But it's only because I don't have any more of this, it's only available on sock in the shop. So this is it, Menagerie. And it is a beautiful kind of bluish, pale blue-green with some hints of pink and white and black speckles. That is Menagerie. So you can see, like, sometimes it has a lot of black, sometimes it has just a little bit of pink. There's some pink right there. I'm so excited. I am pretty sure I'm casting on something today with this yarn. And I think I know what it's gonna be. And I think that these are gonna go with it. I think. But I don't know. We'll have to see. But just in case you're wondering, this is Menagerie. This is Sage, which is a very, very pale light green. And then this is Azaleas. And I just think those look so fun together. Okay, so I really think that's it. Hope that y'all have a lovely, lovely week or 2 or however long it is until I see you again next time, and that you have lots of time to knit and spin and crochet and do all of the things that you love. Thanks, y'all. I will see you next time. Bye.